Ready? Hello? Hello?
Hi.
This is Max Robbins.
Mark, please.
Yes? What did I say? What did I say?
Tell her to call her on 61...
I said that.
We will.
I said that on the air.
Call us on 6136 as she talks to us. You got a lot of time and support.
Just let Max do this. Let Gordon do the rest. What did I say about Malcolm?
Hi, can I...
Would you tell me what I said? I can't... How can I straighten it up if you don't tell me what it was? They're going to kidnap me.
What?
Gordon on the phone.
I'm going to be kidnapped by the Hanafis.
Let me have Gordon on the phone.
Let's get back to work.
With a wife and 4 children at home, Robinson didn't take the threat lightly. But it didn't change his approach to the story. He went back to his anchor position without visibly missing a beat.
Gordon Barnes, we've had pretty good weather for the past week or so, or the past 4 or 5 days. Today wasn't
wasn't as good as I expected. We have some high clouds this afternoon.
Which is beginning of the weekend.
Although the audience remained unaware of the threat, news director Jim Snyder and his staff were concerned. They felt this was not just another crank call.
The guy sounds like he might be one of those folks. They've taken 3 buildings. It would not be too difficult for them to take me, I would assume. You know, you take 3 buildings, you can sure take a little reporter. And they say they're going to take me, meaning kidnap. Now, what have we done in terms of dealing with making that a little more difficult than it is right now? I'm telling you that he sounds like some of the Hanafis that I've run across.
More than I am. Well, we have security here in the building. You can stay here in the building.
You mean our regular security? Holy hell, that's all.
Not here in the middle of the afternoon.
We do have 3 uniformed policemen downstairs.
Have you informed the police?
And indeed, 2 district policemen were brought in for Robinson's round-the-clock protection until the announcement that the hostages were finally released.
The ordeal of the entire city has ended. The ordeal of the hostages, the ordeal of those people who worked long hours. In fact, all of the people, the officials, who were involved for the past 39 hours in dealing with a situation the likes of which the nation's capital has never seen before. This story's not over, but certainly the dramatic part, the part that held this town on edge for 39, 40 some hours, that part is over. You can feel the relief, you can feel a sigh in the nation's capital this morning. All of us feel it. I think journalists are the last to feel it.
Last week in Washington, it was Max Robinson. Next week, it could be, as Walter Cronkite talked about in an interview, some other reporter, anywhere.
Since the terrorists seem to be getting better at handling us, are we getting any better at handling them?
Well, I don't know that we are. I suppose experience always counts for something, so maybe we are getting better. I don't know really, though, what we could or should do about this, Dan. It seems to me that we cannot control the events that need to be reported. All we can do is be responsible in reporting the events that occur.
Do you think it's fair criticism to say that we provoked the terrorists?
I think that it's something that is within the range of possibility. I don't think it can be dismissed quickly, but I don't see where that really counts on how we handle the story. I don't think we can suppress stories like this.
What about Ambassador Andrew Young Sunday said he wished, quote, there could be a law that would restrict the publication of information regarding violent crime. Now, could the First Amendment stand such a law?
No, couldn't at all. In no way. The First Amendment says there shall be no law which infringes on the freedom of speech and press.
In your judgment, what can we say to those people who continually say to us, listen, we cannot allow this to happen and keep happening and escalate each time, that those of you in the media have to do something?
I don't know how this society got so media-oriented in blaming the messenger for everything that transpires in our society and for all of its ills. We are only the messenger. It's other aspects of society which have to take action. Speedier justice, better forms of justice perhaps, better way to treat those who have just or unjust claims against society. We have to report it.
With television's instantaneous coverage and the resulting instantaneous decisions of what we cover, what is aired, how we air it, do we have enough time in television to contemplate the consequences of what we do?
I'm not sure we should be concerned about the consequences of what we do. Those are strong words, I know, and they're inclined to come back to haunt one because I've said them before, and I know what the dangers of that statement can be.
You know, a lot of people are going to say, well, Mr. Cronkite, you've got to worry about the consequences.
That's right. But you see, when we start worrying about the consequences, we're beginning to play another role other than that of reporters. We're beginning to play a judgmental role. We're beginning to play God. And I don't think I'm equipped to do that. I'm not sure I know any journalist who is.
A woman from the PTA or a businessman down the street says to you, Mr. Cronkite, why wouldn't you be in favor of a complete and total blackout once something like this happens? What's your answer?
Because that's not serving the public's best interests at all. All that does is lead to rumor and speculation, to doubts that the press is telling the whole story under any circumstances, and that's the most important consideration of all. If we cover up stories under any circumstance, the public has every right to believe that we cover them up under any circumstance. And if we cover up at all, then the whole belief, reliance upon the press is gone.
Last question. This whole subject scares the hell out of me, does it you?
Yes, it does. Sure. I think it's a very, very serious problem for all of us. And we needn't go into here the permutations of it. But I think that's why you're scared. That's why I'm scared. We all know that they're there.